Morning Young Country Girl, and I'm going to give you guys a little mid-year homeschool update, kind of what's going on, what we're doing, how things are going. So I know that around Christmas it can be really hard to homeschool because there's so much going on. Now we took our break when we went to Tokyo Disney in October. So we actually pretty much homeschooled through Christmas. We didn't really take a true Christmas break. However, when there were activities and things going on, we did just skip a day. So we didn't actually set aside like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever to do a Christmas break. We, like I said, did events if there was something that came up, but we just continued to do school on days if we didn't have anything going on or it was later in the day, we would get it done in the morning. So we didn't really take a true Christmas break. However, I did track and make sure, part of that was because I had tracked and made sure that we were where we needed to be in our books. And I was like, okay, we're halfway through our math lessons. We're halfway through our language arts lessons. We are behind on science. That is something that I still struggle with getting in so often after the whole day of like trying to get our math and our language arts done and our reading done. A lot of times by the time it's time for science, I'm just exhausted and tired of having to get on the kids to do things. So I'm ready to walk away, which is not good. But if you guys know, in the past, I kind of talked about doing like science over the summer. We're doing the solar, I'm totally drawing a blank, the whole solar system unit from The Good and the Beautiful. And we've had the opportunity to watch some amazing meteor showers. We actually watched the big lunar blood moon eclipse last night. So we've actually had quite a bit of time to talk about it. And it is something I want to do more. One of the things that I'm noticing though is that we are kind of hitting that not bored, but kind of like that mid-year slump. And I'm sure you guys know what I mean. This time of year, it's kind of hard because you're like, we're only halfway through. It's hard to kind of get motivated. And in a month or so, then you start looking at like the light at the end of the tunnel. But these first few months of the year, as far as for myself as a homeschool mom, if you're a homeschool mom who feels this too, comment below and let me know I'm not alone. But I always feel that like January, February, somewhat into March, it's really a hard time to get going. Once I hit April, I see that light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, we got April, May, June, we're done. Like, we usually try to be done at the end of May. So January and February are pretty hard, and part of March is a little bit hard, but it's definitely, hey baby, it's definitely something that we try to overcome with different things. One of the things is, I'm gonna grab this puppy because she's not getting watched, and she's supposed to be watched. Oh, she's a puppy, and I say puppy, but she's actually a big girl. So she was one of our puppies, our foster puppies. But one of the things that we have started to do, which I'm really enjoying, is we try to do school out one day a week. We started it the other week, and I found it to be really good because it gives us a change of scenery, which is really nice. It also helps the kids do school with distractions, because if you think about it, in a public school there's lots of distractions. My kids, I only have 2 kids, so yeah, there are distractions and stuff because we have a lot going on with animals and such, but just the distraction of people per se is not so much there. So I thought it'd be really a good idea just to kind of have a change of scenery, also kind of help them learn how to focus even with things going on around them. And it also helps me because at this time of year, I always feel like there's so many things I need to start getting ready for spring and summer and outside and all these projects and chores. So when I'm home, I get distracted very easy myself. So by going somewhere once a week, it really is kind of helping us sit down and focus and do our schoolwork, which may sound kind of crazy, but for us, that has been kind of what works, because we can go to a cafe or a coffee shop and we can sit down and there's nothing necessarily to distract us from our schoolwork per se. Like we can't go and play outside or play with the dogs or something. We really have to just sit and do it. So there's the distraction of people, but it's not necessarily like us getting up and doing things, which is what seems like to be happening a lot when we're home doing school right now. Maybe it's because I'm being too lenient and I need to get like cracked down. But we actually did draw it back into our schoolroom because my daughter was doing her school in her room and she was getting way too distracted with things in her room. So I'm like, nope, we're back to the schoolroom. So we're back to doing it. She's back to it. My son's always been in here. She's back to doing her schoolwork in the schoolroom. And then we do out and about once a day. So, or once a week has been what we're trying to go. Our goal is to do. Now, of course, that won't always happen, but it's just a way to kind of help us get over this little hump before we kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. As far as other units that we want to do, we are still using the Good and the Beautiful language arts. My son and my daughter are both getting some supplement pages for review from Teacher Pays Teacher. I just bought some little daily review packets that kind of have them correct a sentence or just reading comprehension, just some of those little things that I just want to make sure that they're getting a daily one of. We're still doing the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. We have our teaching textbooks math, which they are doing phenomenal with. And then we have the Good and the Beautiful science. And history, we haven't done history this year, which is really bad. But at the same time, I have to say history is one of my favorite subjects. So I talk about history all the time, like all the time. One of the things I found for our family with the Good and the Beautiful was the history books that they wanted us to read. My kids weren't finding it very interesting. I wasn't finding it very interesting. Maybe we just didn't allow ourselves to get into it far enough. But when it comes to actually like reading the lessons and stuff, I enjoy that part. But we haven't been doing so much in reading the book. So we kind of like strayed away from that. And then there's just different things that they ask me history-wise that we will start talking about and going into a lot of times in our lessons, because Good and the Beautiful kind of talks about geography and stuff like that, and it talks about like these paintings from long ago. We do talk a lot about history, so it kind of is incorporated in different areas. And like I said, because I love history, like watching history stuff and doing history things and talking about history is something that just naturally happens in our home. So we'll probably need to do a more set history here soon. But I'm just being honest here. We have not done much with history this year as far as set curriculum. So that's kind of our update right now with homeschooling. We hope to keep doing, I know I want to do the marine biology. I really want to finish up this meteorology or space and unit to, not meteorology, the space unit to with the Good and the Beautiful, so I can switch into the marine biology, because I think it'd be really fun to do some of the marine biology. And then we really want to take a trip to San Diego and to go to SeaWorld and kind of see some of those things up front. That's kind of a goal for this summer. I don't know if it's going to happen. If not, we do have a different aquarium closer, but there's this San Diego Birch Aquarium, and then there's SeaWorld, and then the beach, and then the natural tide pools. So there's a lot of things that we can do and incorporate into that marine biology unit on our vacation this summer. So I'm really hoping to be able to get that. It just recently came out, and that's my plan, like I said, is to get that on there. I'm working right now with Good and the Beautiful as far as some different stuff and just sharing my videos. They've contacted me about that. So I really, really hope to be able to do more with their science units. And like I said, we love their handwriting. I think it's great because it reinforces those things that you learn in in the language arts, in the handwriting, as well as like biblical principles. So that's really cool too. So that's kind of where we've been at. We've been doing a lot of audiobooks too. One of the things that I've absolutely loved is on Audible, I've been able to go on and find some really quality books. Some of them are just other books that I remember growing up as a child. Treasures in the Snow was one of my favorite stories. We didn't have a TV and we listened to that all the time. And so we were listening to that over Christmas. But there's some other books that are on Audible that we love to turn them on, and then they listen to them while they're starting their handwriting and they're doing their daily review for language arts. So that has been... See what I said? It's not a real puppy, huh? You can say hi, Kavik. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to everyone, Kavik? So that has kind of been what we've been working on in the morning, and then we go into language arts and math. So that's kind of a little update what's been happening this year as far as where we're at in our school year. I will be sure to share with you guys a flip through and review of the language arts marine biology unit when I get that, as well as any other new curriculum that we will be browsing through and learning about, and trying out or looking at this for this next upcoming school year. Because I know if you're like me, you're starting to look for what we're going to do next year, because you want to be able to have that so that over the summer you can plan and schedule for it. So I know those are all coming up, and I am looking forward to sharing anything that we try with you guys and letting you guys know how it's going. So thanks for watching. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and give me a big thumbs up and a smiley emoji down below if you guys are those feeling that boredom too, if you're one of those moms that feels that boredom halfway through the year in these first few months. So have a beautiful, blessed day. We'll see you guys all real soon. Bye.
Jesus, wake me from my sleep. Father, come, breathe breath in me. I'm in the shadow of your wings, overcome by everything. I need your hand, your touch.